Moving is stressful. In fact, it's the third most stressful event in our lives after death and divorce. And the last thing you want when you're moving is to be ripped off by a moving company. In today's video, I'm going to show you some tricks so you can avoid being a victim. Here's the list, and it is in no particular order. Number 1, no delivery date on the quote or the bill of lading. Basically, the bill of lading and the quote should have a minimum amount of information, including pickup date and delivery date. So it should be stated right there clearly at the top of the quote and not buried in the terms and conditions on page 7 of the quote. Now, if you ask the moving company to store your items, there should be some information provided as what would happen when you want your items delivered. For example, how much of a notice do they need to pull your items out of storage, and then how long will it take for them to deliver after that. All that information should be clearly spelled out on the quote and on the bill of lading. Number 2, your price is based on cubic feet instead of pounds. And this applies to non-binding estimates only, because basically in a binding estimate basically is like a flat price. We're going to do this from A to B and we're going to charge this much. With a non-binding estimate is when the items are actually evaluated or weighed after the shipment is picked up. This is not allowed to be based on cubic feet, because how do you measure cubic feet? Basically all you have to do is pack the items in the truck a little bit loose and they will measure more than if you had packed them. Number 3, your delivery window is listed in business days. Basically, this adds almost 30% to the amount of time it's going to take to deliver your items. Let's figure it out. There are about 365 days in a year. If you take out weekends and holidays, there are only 261 business days. So if you have a 1 to 14 day delivery window, basically it becomes 1 to 18 days. And if you have a 21 day window, it becomes 1 to 27 days, basically almost a month. What happened on weekends? Do your drivers stop? Do they sleep Saturday and Sunday? If you're driving and working 7 days, why is the delivery listed in business days only? Number 4, payment terms, cash or postal money order only. They probably would take credit card for their deposit and maybe for the first part of the payment, but they wouldn't take it for the last part of the payment. And my question would be, is the company different from the company who picked up my items, delivered my items? Why would you take my credit card on the front end, but you wouldn't take it on the back end? Basically, this is a red flag. Number 5, they refuse to do an on-site estimate after you ask for it. And basically, they try to convince you that you don't need one. Now, if you have a couple of pieces of furniture or a few pieces and a couple of boxes, basically if you have anything under £1,000, which is the minimum for most companies, it's probably okay. You don't need an on-site estimate. But if you have a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom house or anything like that, you do need an on-site estimate, and you should actually insist. And anyone who says, I can't do an on-site estimate, then basically they're out. And one reason I can understand some companies can't do an on-site is if they're like an out-of-town company, which is probably a problem on its own. So if you ask for an on-site estimate, they need to do an on-site estimate. Number 6, you are dealing with a moving broker, not an actual carrier. Now, let me explain this. Moving brokerage is not illegal, but why would you want to deal with a broker and not know who is the company that's actually going to move your items until actually move date? And when they show up at your door, then you know who's moving your stuff. You had no opportunity to look them up. What kind of record do they have with the Better Business Bureau? What kind of online reviews do they have? Are they licensed? At that point, it's almost too late. One way to find out, because of course they're not going to tell you, or most likely they're not going to tell you, there's a government website that you see on the screen. Plug in their USDOT number or ICC number, and I hope you have those. What you will find on that website is how many trucks do they own, how many miles did they drive, which actually relates to number 7, which says what kind of record do they have with the FMCSA on that website. That tells you more information on a moving company than you can find online. Basically, if you plug in the number or the name, this is what you're going to come up with. And if you look at the bottom of that screen, it tells you how many power units or how many trucks they own. The minimum to be on this website is 1. They have to have minimum 1 truck so they can get a USDOT number. And look at the right side. The MCS 150 miles. This is something the company has to report. How many miles did they drive last year? This one is blank. they drove 0 miles. And even if they have something like 1 mile or 10 miles, a number like this, that's basically your sign that this is a broker and this is not a company you want to deal with, because this information should be reported to the government. If they're not reporting it or reporting incorrect information, is that somebody you want to move your items? Number 8, their quote is much lower than everyone else's. So if you got 4 quotes and 3 companies are between $3,800 and $4,400, and this company comes in at $2,000, that's a red flag. Yeah, you can read between the lines, you can look into the quote, see what do they include, what do they not include, but that's definitely a red flag. There's a cost of doing business, especially with an interstate move. Everything is very expensive nowadays. So if somebody is much lower than everybody else, I would stay away. Number 9, they charge or they may charge a fee if your building requires a certificate of insurance or COI. Basically, if you're in business, you already have insurance, so why would you charge for it? A COI, if it's requested by a building, basically they just want to see that you have coverage. They're not asking you to write a policy or anything that should cost extra money. If you have general liability, if you have trucker's insurance, if you have workers' comp, you should be able to go into any building. So basically charging a fee for it is just a way to make extra money. Number 10, do not ignore your gut feeling. If you have a bad feeling about a company, you probably don't want to deal with them, because at the end you're going to say, I should have known better. If you have a bad feeling about someone, move to the next company, move to someone else. Do not ignore that. Chances are there's something about them that even if you don't know now, you're going to know later and you might regret it. Do not ignore your feelings. So here's a recap of the list. Number 1, no delivery date is listed on the quote or the bill of lading. Number 2, their price is listed in cubic feet, not in pounds, if it's a non-binding estimate. Number 3, their delivery window is listed in business days. Number 4, payment terms clearly states cash or postal money order only. Number 5, they refuse to do an on-site estimate when you ask for it. Number 6, you are dealing with a moving broker. And number 7, which I explained together with number 6 in the explanation, is they have 1 truck only listed on the FMCSA website. Number 8, their quote is too low compared to other quotes that you've gotten. Number 9, they charge you a fee to provide a certificate of insurance. And number 10, do not ignore your gut feelings. Basically, this is it, guys. I hope this helps you if you are moving to have basically a stressless move. Do me a favor, if you know somebody moving, do them a huge favor. Forward this video to them. It will help them a lot. It will help them better than buying them some moving boxes, because it could save them thousands of dollars. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're putting out about a video every week in order to help you out.